Welcome, Leo and Leo cross watchers, to your mini weekly love reading. So I hope you guys have had a great weekend. I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. Yeah. We have the Page of Swords. All right. We have the Page of Swords reversed for you. Temperance reversed for your person. And the Five of Wands as the situation between you guys, with Death at the bottom of the deck. I do want to say that in kind of the pre-shuffle, because I do the I shuffle the cards to kind of get the energy into them. Death card actually came out consecutively. So here we go. Leo, to me as a reader, the Page of Swords usually talks about kind of the cold, hard truth. And I feel like with this reversed, it's like something turned. You know what I mean? It's almost like the meat went bad. Something has turned here. And I mean, what caused that could be different for everybody. But it feels like it's, when people get so mad, their eyes kind of narrow. That's kind of what I'm seeing from you. It's like I can almost feel it in my chest. You know what I mean? Like this, something went wrong here. I feel like, you know what it feels like? This person said something. For example, let's say some, sensitive piece of information got out about you. And your person swore up and down it wasn't them. They didn't say anything. And it's like, and then they say something that indicates to you that actually it was them. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then they try to backtrack. And I mean, I feel like it's obviously with the Five of Wands here, this talks about arguments, right? So I kind of feel like your person seems to have some grievances they want to air with you, and I feel like they're going to use this argument as a springboard to talk about all of the things that they're upset about. You know what I mean? I feel like they're not just going to focus on whatever problem the two of you, issue is facing the two of you right now. I feel like they're going to bring everything in. So I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee here. I feel like you know that you're not getting the truth from this person. And I actually feel like if you press them for the truth once they give it to you, you may not believe that that's what's real. You may not believe that it's like they're swearing up and down that that's it, that's all, that's the whole truth and nothing but. And I'm not so sure that you believe them. Hold on for a second. I'm kind of hearing that some of you may have, to a certain extent, may have expected this behavior from this person. It's almost like maybe you saw the writing on the wall that something was about to kind of turn. And when it does, it's like maybe the reason that you're ready is because you kind of felt it coming, right? It's like you knew something was about to drop. You knew, it's almost like you could kind of feel the betrayal energy in the air. And I'm not making light of that. It feels like you genuinely kind of felt that something was about to go south, and it did. And I feel like whatever precipitated that, that might not be the right word, but you know what I mean. I feel like everything's coming unraveled. I feel like your person, depending on what this argument or discussion turns into, I kind of feel like they might unravel a little themselves. I feel like everything's going to come out of this person. You know what I mean? It's like the pent-up anger, frustration, sadness. It's like, I almost feel that you may ask them a question or a couple of questions, and like as the information starts coming out, it's almost like they have the argument with themselves. Because it's like they'll make their point and then they'll it's almost like, well, I understand why you're, it's almost them saying like, well, I did it because of this, but I understand why you're mad at me because of this, right? And it's so like they just kind of end up having this exchange themselves. And I feel like you're just kind of, it's like you see in that moment that whatever is going on, it's got nothing to do with the fight. It's got nothing to do with the problem here. It's like this is some deeper stuff that's going on. It's almost the energy of maybe this person feels like their life is falling apart. Maybe they have a parent that's really ill, or like a family member that has been given a diagnosis that doesn't give them much time. And it's like maybe they've been holding it together for a while and everything just comes undone. And it just kind of spills out of them here. And I mean, of course, it depends, like, how you want to handle this is obviously up to you, right? I'm just saying that it might kind of blindside you here a little bit. So I think we're going to get some clarifiers here. We need a clarifier on the Temperance reversed. I'm just checking the deck to make sure it's upright. It is. We have the Two of Wands reversed and the Chariot reversed. I feel like your person may have avoided making a decision a while ago. And I feel like because they didn't make a decision one way or another, it's like they may have, hold on for a second. It's like they knew a certain decision that they had to put up, but it's like they wanted to keep the other bit to themselves. And I feel like it put them into this place where they didn't make a decision. And it seemed to kind of lead them down this path of, it's almost like they told a white lie, let's say, and then they had to tell lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie. It's like they made a compromise and they had to keep compromising over and over and over again to cover, and then it just kind of comes out. Can we get a clarifier for the Two of Wands reversed, please? Deck is still upright. It's the Two of Cups reversed. Okay. This might sound a little bit strange, but this is what I'm kind of seeing here. I feel like this person seems to be, it's almost like they seem to be tearing themselves up over whatever betrayal they have perpetrated here. I feel like regardless of what has actually happened, from what I'm seeing, I feel like whatever happened here, it just kind of took on a life of its own. And I feel like your person, they just kind of ignored it, or maybe it's like they didn't handle the situation, right? I feel like handling the situation would have required them to come in, take responsibility. I feel like a couple of things might blown up in their face, but they didn't do that. It's like they kept kind of just trying to push it away, and I feel that this person, it's like the chickens are coming home to roost, you know? You may, okay, this may be specific, and I want to stress that, okay? So it may just be the energetics of the situation for some of you. It feels like the type of situation where maybe you're involved with someone, maybe you're to the point where like the two of you are living together or it's getting serious. And I feel like they may have, my ears started to burn and it's really distracting me, sorry. It's like maybe they were talking to someone online that they shouldn't have been. Maybe they took things a little too far online. I'm not so sure that they actually did anything, but it's like it seemed to kind of snowball out of control. And I feel like this person it's almost like they've tried to blackmail your person into um, kind of doing this or doing that, or sending this or sending that, in order for their silence, you know? And it's all coming out. So, um, what does Leo need to know about this Page of Swords reversed? Like, the deck is upright. Look at the Tower at the bottom. We have, I feel like, whatever happens here, I feel like you really start to see this person very differently. I feel like you see them as someone initially anyway when you find this out, as someone that has a weak character. I feel like you see them as someone that is I feel like you see them as more manipulative than they see themselves. And I feel like you do see real sorrow in them, right? But it's like when you start to feel compassion for them, I feel like it actually kind of makes you clam up, almost like pull your energy back when you start to feel compassion for them because you don't want to get taken in again. So what does Leo need to know about this Five of Wands? Hold on for a second. Actually, can we get a clarifier on the death card here? Clarifier for the death card. Knight of Cups and King of Pentacles. Hold on for a second here. It kind of feels like you, if whatever this person has done is grievous enough that you are going to sever the connection. For example, I'm not seeing anything in the cards to, as advice or anything like that. It's just to illustrate the energy of it, okay? Let's say, for example, that happens. I feel like you start to see how it's almost like you see that some of the things that you may find attractive or that seem to draw you into people, it's like you see how that element can be just, it's like it may present as one type of thing when you initially meet somebody, but I feel like you see that characteristic, that trait, actually turns into toxicity, how quickly it can devolve into something that you don't want. I feel like there seems to be this, it's almost like there's something that happens between the two of you that I feel like you don't really want to discuss with people. It's almost like there's something about this person's dirty laundry that I feel like you don't really want to air out. It feels like it would be dishonorable to do so. I feel like there is a little bit of a danger here. Hold on, it's not that kind of danger. It feels like there's a little bit of a danger that you may harden your heart here. And I feel like to a certain extent, it's because of what happened here. But it actually also seems to be that it's like this person might be one of those people that seem like the proverbial cinnamon roll, if you've seen where people who are really sweet and kind of innocent. And it's like if this person can get caught up and kind of be the center or perpetrate this situation, I feel like you're looking at it like, not that you are completely jaded, but questioning, like, well, if this is something that can happen to this person or that they're capable of, I feel like it might make you almost like question the morality and what is actually a reasonable standard when it comes to morals for humans. It feels like whatever this is, regardless of how shocking it may be in the moment, I feel like afterward, when you start to process it, it feels like it's something where it's like you lean up against the wall and you just kind of sink down to a seated position. And like, I'm seeing you in a kitchen and then just put your head in your hands. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's one of those things where you may not kind of like start to cry immediately if that's how you deal with things. I feel like you just kind of sit there with your head in your hands. It's like you just need a second to process it. And it's like you might actually be in that spot for, 30 minutes or more. It's like if you're sitting on a tile floor, you sit there long enough for your butt to hurt, sort of thing. It just feels like it's not necessarily that it has destroyed your belief in like the world, in life, sort of thing, but it's definitely seems to have you know how when you're focusing a camera you have to like turn it this way and that way to kind of get the lens right? It's almost like someone came along and just put the cap over. You know what I mean? And it's like all of a sudden it's a bit disorienting. It's like you're in the middle of the room and you're trying to figure out how far away the wall is, right? So it's like you keep walking a little bit at a time, to kind of get to like a solid spot. And it just seems to take a little too long, right? It's like when you're carrying something down the stairs, but you can't see the next step. So it's like your foot just kind of like, you're just kind of feeling there to feel when you're going to get to the step. And it always seems to take just a little too long to hit that step, I feel like out of that, there actually seems to be this kind of like spark that almost kind of like makes you want to pop up from that seated position. It feels like it's like you realize that there's something with an urgency that like, oh my God, I forgot to do that and the store's about to close. Like it feels like there's this surge. I don't know how else to say it, but whatever it is, I feel like it's almost like you see somebody said something that was wrong. I feel like it's almost like you may realize something that this person said was way, way off. You know what I mean? And it's, this might sound strange. It's almost like you know that bringing it to their attention would actually be really helpful, really good for them. It's like it would, hold on for a second. It's like it's a piece of information that they don't have that they need. We also have the lovers at the bottom of the deck here. So okay, we're going to, can we get for the Five of Wands here? Lots of reverse, like out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards. There's 1, 2, 3 that are upright. So whatever's happening, it's almost like the wheel has turned and it's like there's a weight on the wheel. And so it's just kind of swinging at the bottom a little bit. And I feel like it's almost like there's, I want to say, you're kind of stuck in the muck and the mud. And I feel like it's like as you're kind of swinging on this wheel, I feel like you're going to see a couple of, it's almost like a couple of plants or a couple of little nuggets, couple of opportunities as you're swinging there. And I feel like because of who you are, you're going to focus on like that's right there. That's what I'm taking back with me. And I feel like you swing and you are able to kind of grab onto some of these opportunities. It could just be like a concept, an idea, a different way of thinking, right? It just feels like the whole world is upside down. And I feel like you seem to be reserving either like your reaction, what you're gonna, my ear is burning again. It's like either your reaction or how you're going to approach this until you have the information. It's almost like you may know that whatever's going on with this person, that there's an undercurrent that is, it's bigger than just them. And it's like until you have all the information that you need, I feel like you're not really going to get into it with anybody. You know what I mean? It's like there's something about the conversation between the two of you that seems to make you realize that it's like there's a lot more people involved here. And I feel like that kind of makes you almost want to back away from the situation, not out of fear, but to get a bigger picture. You know what I mean? It's like you're looking through the peephole in the door, but before you open the door, you want to see what's really going on. So it's like you're kind of expanding that lens. You got to take the cap off and see what is really going on out there. So I think we've got one more card for this Five of Wands. Five of Wands, please. Look, it's upright. Sorry. It's just me being a bit of a smart aleck. Look at this. So I feel like this may feel like a really kind of gross situation. It feels like it's one of those things where it's like you're not too sure where to move, and it's not even that you are feeling nervous or afraid to make a move that you want to make. It's like you really kind of, it's such a bizarre situation that you're not quite sure which way to move. It's almost like you're, Indiana Jones, and you're going through the this cave or whatever that's like there's booby traps everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like you're just kind of like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna stick to my own lane, right? It's like there's tape on the floor. If you pass through this, you'll be fine. And you're like, really? You sure that this isn't gonna start, the walls coming in or something? So I feel like you seem to just be focusing on putting one foot in front of the other. And I actually feel that you focusing on that, it's like you seem to have, it's almost like at the end of the line with this situation, or when things kind of settle down or what have you, I feel like you're gonna seem like a completely different person. And it's not one that has been jaded and destroyed by some hurt. It feels like it's someone that has transformed something that may have been a bit of a sobering reality into strength. And I feel like it's actually because it's so bizarre that it's like you have to be so aware of your surroundings and what's going on. It's almost like your energy field, energy force, it's like because you're trying to make sure that you pay attention to everything, and you kind of, it's like you're using all of your senses, including that that sense that which I guess is your intuition, that tells you not to walk down that dark alley. That feeling of like, okay, what's really going on, right? Because it's like what you're seeing with your senses, what you can feel, taste, touch. It's like, yes, those things are here, but there's more to the story. And I feel like because you're kind of wanting to, you don't want to get caught up in a booby trap. So I feel like you are taking things slow. You're paying attention to everything. And it's almost like you may not realize that you're transforming yourself in this situation. So it's like you may go from somebody that is a kind of a romantic idealist to someone that is very, very mature, someone that it's like you'll be the kind of person, or maybe you're there already, that it's like when you talk, people want to listen to you because you seem to have this wisdom about you. And it's a really gorgeous energy because it's not one that is, that you're sitting up here on your high horse, telling all us lowly peasants how to live. It's more, people can see that when you speak from experience. It's a humble wisdom. It's a wisdom that is, um, it's like when you tell people things, you may tell them what they need to hear. So it's like maybe it's not always pretty, but it's genuine. It's from your heart. It's something that is, it's like people can see that the wisdom that you're giving them is because you genuinely want better for them. So, I have talked long enough for a mini read. I'm sorry this was so long, Leo, but this is what was the message in the cards. So, if this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. I hope that it brought you some clarity. If you're new here, I upload on Sundays and Thursdays. Sundays are always these mini weekly reads, and then Thursdays usually are a bit longer. This Thursday will be the March 2023 love readings for the month. And I kind of feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna end the video. I love you so much, Leo, and I wish you all the best here. Much love. Bye.